a little topical and tough to just say you're allowed to feel the way that you want to feel, because to me, racism is never accepted.
No, it's never accepted with me. I don't know. I just feel like
bigotry is never accepted.
Yeah, like I just think that, I look at this generation, especially a generation like even below us. What year you was born?
88.
So you're a millennial. So like the generation under us, that's like I think Generation Y, like the kids that was born like.
They're called centennials now.
Yeah, centennials. I think it was 2002 and on to present, right? I think, or is it?
I want to say it was people born after 96.
Yeah. Some people.
It's people born after a certain date in the later 90s, if I recall correctly.
Yeah,
because it definitely has to do with the technology jump and where people were raised with technology versus people like me. Like a lot of millennials, such as myself, were raised outside, especially people like me who were not raised in wealthy households, right? Like I was raised in a broken home, and I was raised with the value of the dollar. You know, when everyone had Nintendo 64, I was rocking SNES and all that shit, and I got Nintendo 64 when everyone else had GameCube.
True. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you.
I was always pretty much so a generation behind, and because of that, when people were first getting computers, I had a basic computer, if that. When people started to have an internet where you didn't require to only use the internet and you couldn't pick up the phone, I still had the internet, like dial-up, where if you picked up the phone, it disconnected your line. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Okay, so I could relate, because like when iPhones and all that came out, I still had like the Nokias and stuff, like the older.
Bro, the bleepers. Yes, not many people are on the time of the bleeper phone. You know that it's a rare form. You know, it's real. But yeah, dude, it's definitely a generational thing, and millennials to me are, of course, me it's just because I'm part of one. I'm trying to glorify our generation a little bit here, but we're the perfect hybrids. We're the people who understand technology and know how to use technology, and like we almost understand the philosophical needs of technology, right?
Yeah.
But we also were, especially like for the people who were raised without it at the proper stages in the millennial time. We were raised still outside. Yeah,
we both. That's why they call us a social birds. Like we could do without it. We could do it with technology and without technology. That's why like I learned that someone said it. They said that's the reason why like Facebook and all these like social media apps were built because of us. Because the fact that they was like, instead, you remember back in the day, used to have what they call that, the buddy. What do they call it? The pen pals, where you like you will like send like a mail to like a pal, like that's from like so pen pal. Instead of using that method, they was like, you know what, you could just start emailing. I think emailing. Then you started having text messaging. Before then you had the cell phones, but now you had the text messaging, the pager. Now it's like everything is so instant now. It's because of us. So I think the generation after us are learning more about the technology and stuff like that. And because honestly, truth be told, I feel like that generation, they still want to be outside, but it's not like how it was when we was younger. Like when we was younger, we had the video games and stuff, but we want to hang out outside with our friends or with our cousins or whatnot. So,
dude, well, not to sound like that guy who's becoming a grumpy old man, but I honestly think that a lot of the young, like the centennials, they only appreciate the outdoors and the things when it's convenient to them and when they can look at it from a glass window.
Right.
They acquire the appreciation. They don't appreciate technology for what it is. They need it to maintain, right? And because of that need of maintaining, they don't want to lose connection with the outer world. They want to see how beautiful the outer world is, but they want to see it through a photo and memories.
Right.
And they want to be able to go outside and maybe appreciate it for the minute before they get back to their life. because they still can't, regardless of how beautiful and fascinating the world that we live in actually is, they still find more satisfaction in looking for like that extra connection and validation from everyone else.
Right. So for the last question, before we close it out, where do you see yourself 5 to 10 years from now?
Well, there's always the what I would call the realistic goal versus the dream goal, right? But in all reality, based off of how this 2018 has been, in the next 5 to 10 years, I would really plan on having just my the Dok Brass brand making a positive impact in a lot of places around the world.
Okay.
It is really where I see myself going, because a lot of everything that I'm trying to do is to make this brand that the superhero community of hip hop that I'm starting with Dok Brass. I want a lot of its focus to be done in doing what the Justice League or the Avengers would be trying to do.
Yes.
And obviously in a more realistic human platform, because we don't have superpowers, but our superpowers are just a different interpretation. My superpower is the ability to chop and finger drum, and help communicate to others a better way of thinking, one that involves unity and looking forward to the next step and together, not against each other. And I would say in the 5-year plan is to have all of the basis for my empire, the brass empire, to be built, and then the following 5 years to be really spent growing that brand to incorporate all the other people that deserve to be brought attention to in this world, whether it be problems that need to be overcome, or it be people that deserve to be known about, or morals and ethics that should be ingrained in people for future generations to be able to understand, to benefit humanity.
Right. That's what's up.
So that's it.
That's what's up, man. Like, I really appreciate you coming on the show. We gotta make another episode, because this was very interesting. Because, like, it's just, especially when it comes to hip hop and everything, and like our next episode don't have to be on just like music. It could be like on, DC and Marvel and stuff like that, and just. Cause I tell people all the time. Yeah, man. Like I just love it, And do you have any shout outs before we officially close the episode?
Well, I just like to thank the people who understand what it is that I do versus the other people in terms of production. So shout out to the people who appreciate the finger drumming levels that I'm trying to do. Shout out to my family and friends, but really what I'd like to just shout is this. There are free ways to be able to support something that you like, and there are also ways that you can spend money on. The free ways would be telling your friends about Dok Brass and listening to the music that you probably already pay a subscription to, whether it be Spotify, iTunes, or whatever. I'm on it. You know what I mean? So the main shout is to say, tell your friends about me. If you like what I do and you want to support the culture of what it is, I have T-shirts. I have some merch that you can purchase and flex, so that when people see that pulp hero kind of art on you, they're like, who is that masked alien looking dude, right, with the action pose?
Yeah.
And that's really what it is. So some people just forget that it's Dok with a K. It's just DokBrass, Dok Brass, and the same way that Vic Vaughn was Vic with a K. You know, same thing for Dok with the K. And like, just enjoy yourselves, man. Shout out to all of the human beings actually looking to make a positive impact out there.
That's what's up, man. I appreciate you coming on the show again.
Thanks for having me, man.
It's been your boy DJ Anonymous with Sports Biz Music, the podcast with DokBrass, and we out.